Yes, people, welcome back to Mission Podcast, and it's another edition of the Combat Council, your weekly combat sports roundup. And there's a lot to talk about on today's episode. Joined by my very special co-host DK Danny, and making his return, Luke. Can't believe we've got him again for the second week in a row. But yeah, big things to talk about. Let's not waste any more time. Let's start off with UFC 322 then. Islam Makhachev completely dominates JDM and becomes the 170 champion. What did you guys make of the fight? Yeah.
Luke,
Okay, I'll start then. So, great to be back. Obviously, you guys are paying me well, so I thought I'd give it another go. Is my mic working, or is it echoing a bit? I can hear an echo. Okay, great. Right, so my thoughts on the fight. As I said, Islam's just levels above JDM. I think we all knew that. I did think it'd be a bit more competitive, but I'm not really surprised. So, yeah, there's not really too much to say about the main event other than Islam's just a lot better than him. The co-main, again, I don't really care. That was a bit boring. And then the rest of the fight, the rest of the card was pretty good. A lot of quick knockouts. I was glad Prates won. I was glad Morales won. Overall, good card, good night. Sets up the welterweight division quite well. And yeah, all there is to it, really.
Yeah, I mean, the main card started off amazing. We got 3 knockouts back to back, which I thought we were gonna have one of the best cards ever here. I mean, BST got his amazing knockout. I mean, we'll get on to their fights, but Islam Makhachev, what a performance, man! Just complete domination from minute 1 to, minute 25. I mean, I expected this, right? On the preview, I think when we were talking about how much from Bilal's fight you should take, and I was saying that fight I had more down to Bilal's game plan, which I was proven right about because, I mean, from the first minute when Islam took him down, I think it was the first, second minute, he just, there was no way up for JDM. He had no openings, he had nothing. And the way Islam was taking him down was really impressive. I think he was landing multiple calf kicks, like solid calf kicks, which, he was barely able to stand on his league leg. He tried to switch stance, but of course, it wasn't working. And then Islam just took him down. I think it got easier as the fight went on. The first, I say 2 rounds, Islam, he had to work to get him down a bit, but after that, it was just lab work, man. Like, there's this picture of JDM's face at the start of the fight and the end of the fight. This guy looked like he wanted to cry. He did not want to be in there with the best fighter in the world. And a part of me feels sad for him, right? Because he wins the belt against Bilal in, I think it was a great performance, right? His game plan was excellent in the fight. He wins the belt, and the first title defense the UFC give him is one of the best fighters in the world, probably the best fighter in the world, the lightweight champion. And it's just like, a part of me feels bad for him, but I mean, the sport is a sport. He did
Nah,
not.
he got lucky to even get given a title shot against Bilal, if we're honest.
That's true. And
Right
I was
place,
saying,
right time, and
yeah, I was
changed his
saying
life.
them performances against the likes of Burns and Kevin Holland didn't fill me with much confidence. That's why I was really, surprised that he did
Yeah.
beat Bilal, because going into the Bilal fight, I had Bilal. I thought Bilal was gonna win. I thought he was gonna go similar with the Islam fight, and maybe not to that extent as the amount of damage he took, and he didn't want to be in there with him. But I did think that fight was gonna go similar way. But fair play to JDM that fight. He fought really well. But I mean, this fight, no surprise at all. I, I did think Islam would eventually get a submission. I mean, he was looking for a submission. He was looking for a dodge choke. He was looking for a rear naked choke. They just never came. But again, 20. I think out of 25 minutes, he controlled it for 90 minutes, which is mental. So yeah, man, one of the most dominant performances. I mean, we've got 2 in the last 2-3 months with Hamza and Islam just completely obliterating their opponents. And yeah, man, just for me, him and Topuria are neck and neck, the best fighters in the world, which just sets up a perfect fight. Who knows if it's gonna happen, but the opportunity is there. It's the fight everyone wants to see. I mean, I think Islam said he wants to do it in the White House. If not in the White House, you can do it a few weeks later on International Fight Week. But this fight has to happen. My only concern is that it's not gonna happen at 155. I feel like at 170, it's too much for Topuria, in my opinion. I don't think he can hang with Islam at 170, but at 155, I'd give Topuria a much better chance of, beating Islam. I'd say Islam doesn't want to do it at 155 because he feels like 170 is now his natural weight class. But with Ilya Topuria, this guy, he'd do anything. I think he'd be willing to be the first ever uh, fighter in UFC history to win the belt at 3 different weight divisions. Like, if he beats Islam at 170, I think we can all agree he is the GOAT. Like, he is
Yeah.
genuinely the GOAT. if he
I think
wins
he
that,
wants to fight at 170 as well. He's made that quite clear. He wants it, and that's
exactly.
the only way he's getting a. Other than that, he's not going to get a welterweight title shot for a while. So I think he sees that as an easy route to get, not easy, but the quickest route to get 3 belts. So yeah, I see that.
Yeah, and Topuria, like I said, Luke, he's the kind of guy to do that. He's just badass. He do anything, take on anyone. And again, he's beat Charles, he's beat Holloway, he's beat Volk, and then if he beats Islam as well, bro, he's beat some of the best fighters we've ever seen, and that put him in gold status, man. And I think like you can obviously tell he cares about legacy, right? So he is the kind of guy who'd go up to 170. So I'm really intrigued in that. I do hope it happens on 155 because I give Topuria a much better chance and in a much even fight, but. I mean, who knows with Tuporia? This kid's just generational.
Yeah, I thought it was a very good card as well. I think the person that would be the most happy is Dana White. Like, I think all the people won, he would be ecstatic with. Like, basically, Benoit won. He's kind of not really a prospect, but he's someone in the future of 155, right? You had Morales, the future of 170. He won. He was probably really happy about that because Brady's not as good as Brady is. He's not the most marketable, is he? He's a bit boring, like to sell a fight and stuff. So you got a result there, and then I think Prates knocking out Leon Edwards was the icing on the cake for him. So yeah, the 170 division right now is on fire. It's only going to continue as well next week. But just going back to the main event, well, Islam just completely dominates JDM. I thought, to be brutally honest with you, JDM was absolutely pathetic in that fight. I think that's one of the worst performances from a defending champion I've ever seen.
Since the last one in Anchor Live.
Yeah. But what do you guys make of the discourse like online and the reaction? Everyone's saying, "Oh, this is boring, blah blah blah. Islam's a boring champion. It's a boring fight." Yeah, what do you guys make of that?
I think, to be honest, it was a boring fight, and I think it's going to continue because at 170, Islam knows that the only way he's going to lose is getting chinned by that one-punch knockout power by Prates, Morales, maybe even Ilya. So for him, he's not going to hang around. You saw with Brady Morales, he was trying to strike a bit. Islam's not going to do any of that. He's going to dive at the legs as soon as he can, first opportunity, get it to the floor. Because on the floor, he's just levels above all of them. And I think that's just... this is how his 170 reign. I don't think it'll be very long because I think he'll retire, but that's how it's going to go. He's just going to wrestle and beat everyone, and you're going to have to get used to it. But it wasn't exciting. No, it was bloody boring.
Yeah, I agree with Luke. I think this fight was boring for probably the casual fan. But, I mean, calling Islam a boring fighter is mental. His last 10 fights has been a submission, a submission, a submission, a knockout, a submission, a decision against Volk in one of my favorite fights ever, KO Volks, then Poirier submission, Moicano submission, and this fight. I think this is his first boring fight in a really long time. So I think the discourse around Islam Makhachev being a boring fighter is just nonsense. I mean, I get this fight why you could say that, but I think Islam did what he had to do. He was not going to risk getting chinned because let's be honest, JDM could chin him. Like it happens. Like he's been chinned before by someone. It can happen. He took no risks. He did what he had to do. He messed his cough up, and then it got easier as the fight went on. He took him down and basically dominated him. So I can agree with the discourse, saying the fight was boring, but calling Islam Makhachev boring is just ludicrous.
Are you not worried he's going to be boring in his next fight, though? If he fights Morales or a Prates or an Ian Gary, do you not think he's just going to take them down?
Yeah, I agree, but I mean, do you think he'd risk staying up on the feet with them guys? Like, especially Morales?
No, I don't think he will.
Because let's be honest, I think Morales came out UFC as 3-2, probably the biggest winner. I think he knocks out Brady, who's number 2. And I mean, you can make a case for Prates, but he did lose against Ian Gary early on the year, where he could have finished him in the last round, to be honest. But I think Morales came out the biggest winner. He knocks out number 2, and I think they
Prates
make
is already a big name, isn't he? And people already know about him and stuff like that. Whereas I think Morales, that was his coming out show. I think everyone now sees him as a contender, whereas Prates was always there before.
My question is, would the UFC give Morales a shot straight away, or would they give him a number 1 contenders fight?
He's not got the name for it. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I think Prates, if Gary beats Bilal, he'll probably be next. If not, it'll be Prates, because Prates is just a bigger name. He's got more knockouts in the UFC. He's more marketable. And the other option is Usman, or if Ilya beats Paddy in January, or Arman, whatever, and he wants it and Islam wants it, that's the other option, and that would trump all because it's such a big fight. But I think Morales, because of his name, he's so far down the list now.
Just joined by Craig, but just going back to the discourse about it being a boring fight and stuff. Listen, I agree, it was a boring fight, but why is only like Islam getting blamed for that? Surely the blame needs to lie with JDM.
Agreed.
Like,
And
you know,
Hamza was not early in the year.
why-
It was the same. It's the same with the DDP fight against
Yeah.
not Dricus, Hamza. He just wanted to survive. He wasn't taking any risks. He didn't want to get choked out or get finished. So that's what happens. You got one guy who's not looking for the finish and one guy who's looking not to get finished. You don't get finished. That's how it works.
And
Yeah,
the reason
like
I'm so disappointed in JDM is because he's the bigger guy. Like Islam's coming up to his division, really and truly. JDM should be the one bullying him. And guys, if guys like Volkanovski and Poirier can keep a fight entertaining with Makhachev and have a close fight, why can't JDM? So I don't really buy into.
Not good as him. That's why.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. I mean, just going back to what Carpe said, it takes two to tangle. So I
Yeah.
mean, just blaming Islam for having a boring fight, or just a few months ago blaming Hamza for having a boring fight, it's just nonsense. Because I mean, DDP did nothing; he was useless for 5 rounds, and the same with JDM, he did basically nothing and was useless for the 5 rounds. Just talking about the Ian Gary and Bilal fight, I know we'll get onto that later. Luke, you mentioned that you think Gary would get a title shot if he beats Bilal. Do you think he'll have to finish Bilal, or do you think if he can just win a decision?
I'm not sure actually. I think if it's a good performance and he looks good, even if he wins by decision, because he is a bit of a decision fighter in general, I think they'd give it to him because he has got the name, he can talk.
Yeah, true.
And that I think they probably would give it to him. And Bilal's a big enough win to beat him. But definitely after this weekend now, the bar has gone up. I think the plan probably was Gary before, but now because of what's happened, I think they'd be happy giving it to Prates. So we'll see. But probably, I think he is being lined up. But what the UFC like doing, they like having more than one contender. They like having 2 or 3. So when negotiations come round, if someone's asking for too much money or whatever, they can just say no, the other guy's getting it. Whereas if you say this guy's the number 1 contender, then they start asking for more money. So I think there's not, the boring answer is there's not one number 1 contender. There's lots. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, and I think we've got a similar issue on 155 where there's guys like Oman.
It's every division.
If he beats Hooker, he could fight. You got Paddy who's there, and Gaethje. I don't want to see Gaethje be Ilya, to be honest.
No, but
All right,
they
the
do it
boys.
deliberately. They want as many
Yes,
contenders as possible.
Sorry, I'm late. What are we touching on?
We're just talking about the main event.
Yeah, we're
Islam
going on to
yeah.
who's next for Islam now, I think. But
Yeah, well, what do you think of the fight then, Craig?
I thought it was a very boring fight, mate. Obviously, very dominant performance, very boring, but he got the job done, mate. I think I just heard when I joined, I heard Carpe saying there that look, it's Islam moving up. It's JDM's job to sort of bully the smaller guy, and we didn't see that happen. So you've got to sort of put a bit of blame on JDM there, I think.
Yeah.
he just wasn't. He's just nowhere near as good as Islam. That's all it is, and that's that's it. That's the end of the debate, really, isn't it? It's just
He was fish out of water, mate, wasn't he? Really?
Yeah. Well, what I'll say now is the UFC champions, other than maybe Volk because he's a bit past it, they're all such a high level now. If you're in a UFC title fight, if you want to win, you have to be such a high level, and JDM just isn't that level. And I don't think outside of the Bilal fight, he's never looked that level. That's just the reality.
What do you think happened there? Like, how did he beat Bilal?
I think Bilal's just not as good as Leon made him look. That's what it is.
Yeah. That actually, but I think I said it. I think it was more down to Bilal's game plan. Like, I mean, I know he did shoot for takedowns, but not as much as he normally does.
Well,
and I think
he couldn't get them. He hasn't got the rest in Islam's got, has he? Bilal's
exactly. I think his wrestling is totally different to Islam. Is much more one-dimensional. I don't want to be harsh, but I think it is much more one-dimensional than Islam's. Islam can trip you up. He can do many things to you. He's one of the best fighters in the world, no doubt about it. And yeah, I think Bilal probably did make JDM look better than he is. And I mean, like I said, them previous performances against guys like Benn, Kevin Holland weren't really, the best performances. And I didn't expect Islam to dominate him.
And Bilal's TV,
I'll tell you what,
it's gone down the toilet, hasn't it, this weekend with Brady losing, Leon losing, JDM losing. If he loses next week, his whole resume has just gone out the window.
Oh yeah.
I'll tell you what I thought though, boys. That first round, do you remember? Was it about a minute in when he first shot? And he got the single leg, and then he just tripped the other leg. Oh, it was unbelievable. He ended up in full mount. I'm thinking this guy's too good, man. He's too good.
Yeah, because he's just trained so many repetitions in all these positions for so long. He just knows what to do, every little angle, and he's so quick as well. The way he shoots, he doesn't give him any time. Whereas Bilal, JDM had a bit more time to get his hands down. With Islam, it's just straight in their legs, tripping him up. It's just game over.
Well, do you remember when Bilal beat Leon, and we got everybody saying, "Look, if Islam moves up, Bilal will beat him. Bilal will beat him, man."
Yeah,
And
I
it's
mean, Leon
Oh,
Leon has done Bilal's reputation a lot of good. To be honest. Like, that fight, he looked like sort of prime GSP. He was dropping him on his head. He was boxing him up, and then obviously Leon since then's not done too well, and Burns since then hasn't done well. It's pretty much everyone who Bilal beats just ends up like going to GFL. So yeah.
I think Carpe mentioned it early on that I think Dana White basically got every winner he wanted, except maybe Valentina. He probably might wanted Willie, but I don't know about that. But I think he wanted Islam to win. He wanted
Yes.
Morales to win. He wanted Practice, and he wanted BST to win. And they all
And
won.
Bo Nickel as well. Bo Nickel.
Bo Nickel with an amazing knockout. Yeah.
Knockout though, like credit to him.
Yeah, I didn't watch a Bo Nickel fight, but I saw the knockout and I was like, yeah, fair play.
It was an amazing knockout. Yeah.
What did you say, Carpe?
I said Bo Nickel's knockout was sick.
Yeah, and I think
yeah.
he came on the show today, Hewani show, and he goes that he might fight once before he fights at the White House, but I don't know if he will. I mean, he's 6 months away, or actually more than that, probably 7, 8 months away. Yeah, so he could fight once before that. Yeah, and then probably fight the White House. He'd probably open the door, to be honest.
You'll be on the White House for sure. Yeah.
You boys mentioned there who do we think should be next for Islam, but can we talk about this for a minute? Why is he waiting until the White House?
Because of Ramadan.
Yeah, that's in like late February, March. When can he really fight before that?
He can't fight before.
When does Ramadan start?
Late February, like 18th February, 19th February, and it finishes like late
And how
March.
long does it last again?
And a month.
Because
so it'll be April by the time he can fight after that, and then what the White House calls 2-3 months later. I don't think he'll fight before that.
Yeah, you'll fight.
I think with someone like Hamza, he could maybe fight before it or like straight after it. But with guys like Islam who just fought, I think it's better if we wait until the White House. I actually don't think he's gonna be on the White House card.
I think he could be because Dana said he just wants the biggest fight possible, and someone else.
But I think if John Jones or Conor, I don't think Conor's gonna be on there. But if John Jones and Alex can have that fight, I think they might use the White House card to promote Ilya v Islam at International Fight Week.
To be honest, right? I think it'll be Conor, and I'll tell you why. Ooh. Because when it came out that he ran from a drugs test, basically, so he was supposed to fight Chandler, then he avoided a drugs test the day before it's cancelled. So I thought he said he was injured, and that's what everyone thought. So I was thinking, okay, if he's injured again, he's probably not ready to fight, and that's why he's not fought. But the whole time he's been banned from fighting. That's why he's not been fighting.
That fight got cancelled because he didn't turn up to drug test, or he wasn't available.
Yeah, but that's why he's not been fighting. So I thought it's just him off doing all his law cases. He's not been fighting because he's not been allowed to, and he'll be allowed to by the White House. So he does want to fight. He's just not been able to for so long.
So John Kavanagh was on Ariel's show today saying that Conor's 100% in. So
yeah, he would 100% do it. He wants to fight. We know he lives for it. And I think if he wants to, he's friends with Donald Trump and Dana on that. If he wants it, he gets it because there's no one who's done more for the UFC than him. There's no one who will make it a bigger event. So I think if he's available and wants it, is him v Chandler, and that's it. No debate.
That's
Unless
that's a fucking mental main event, isn't it? Though, for the biggest biggest card ever, fucking McGregor Chandler.
Listen, give me the Nate Diaz trilogy. Give me that Nate Diaz trilogy.
Yeah, I'd rather watch that. Definitely.
I'd rather Conor v Masvidal, to be honest. I think that's the one I'd see. But...
Oh, that'd be a good fight. Yeah.
I always wanted them two to fight just because of their names. Whereas I feel like the Nate fight, because he won the rematch, he kind of won the rivalry and it ended, in my opinion. But
you think he's coming back at one? Do you think he's come back at 170? Yeah.
What, Masvidal?
No, McGregor.
Oh yeah, he's not making 155, is he?
No. Yeah, he's not.
He might make 185. But...
Yeah, with the UFC White House, it's more like a gimmick sort of event, innit? Like it's like something out of WWE. So I can see them going more the Conor McGregor route rather than Islam. But what do you guys make of people saying Islam versus Usman? I mean, Islam himself is pushing for it. So is Ali, Abdulaziz.
I mean, I know what Abdulaziz is pushing for it because he basically is Usman's fighter, and basically both under his name, and I get why he wants to push that because they're both his fighters. I can see that happening, especially because Dana White's come out and said he considers Usman the welterweight GOAT, so you can kind of see he's probably trying to he probably did expect Islam to be JDM, and he's been saying Usman is the welterweight GOAT, so I wouldn't be surprised if they made that. I mean, but I'd rather see other fights. But I mean, in terms of biggest fights, that is probably the biggest fight you can make out.
I'm gonna touch on this one. I think I don't like the way this narrative's running with Ali and Islam and Khabib basically choosing Islam's next opponent. I don't think it should be like that. I don't think they should be able to. Oh well, he's done this and he's done that. Well, so what, mate? You fight. that you fight the next best guy, the guy who's in line. You don't get to choose your fucking title defense, but it's never been like that. And I think Dana White is now, like you said, Danny. I think Dana wants that fight as well. Which, if we're all realistic, I don't think Usman deserves it. But
Of course he doesn't. Yeah, BT Buckley does not want to a title shot. There's been other guys in the division who's fought better fighters and be better people like Prates, Morales, and if Ian Gary beats Bilal, I think all of them deserve a title shot over Usman. I'll even put Shafka there. Yeah, there's a lot of people that do deserve the shot over Usman, but again, the UFC I think this year has become more about giving these fighters, for their legacy, and I think. If Islam does beat Usman, he's basically be one of the best welterweights of all time. And he'll do crazy things for his resume.
For Islam, it's great, but
even though he is 38 years old, Usman, and I can see Islam winning that early because they're gonna basically nullify the takedown defense, and I think Islam has much better hands than Usman.
My
the question I have is why could Khabib all those years they say, oh, Khabib can't fight Usman because they're mates with Ali and stuff, but now Islam suddenly he can when he wants a big name on his legacy. And
good question.
That was bullshit. That was bullshit, Luke. That was bullshit. If they wanted to make that happen, they could happen. I don't care about being friends or whatever it is. If you want to make the fights, you make the fights.
Do you think, Danny? Do you think that Khabib was a bit uncertain on beating Usman at that time?
Maybe, yeah, because Usman was really dominant back then. I would have taken that out of the realm of possibilities. I do think Khabib he's confident, he beat anyone, but I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't want to take that risk and he just wanted to stay at 155 because after he did beat Gaethje, who were the next contenders at Lawe? It's probably Chandler who was just coming in the UFC. Then Charles, you had bar that. Who else?
Conor McGregor, Poirier was the next one.
Yeah.
I think Bilal did the same thing though, didn't he? Bilal said, "Oh, Islam, I don't want to fight him at 170 because we trained together. Oh, we're best mates. We can't fight and all this." But at the end of the day, it's like with Aljo. I get with Aljo and Murad because they are actually best mates. But at the end of the day, you've got to fight your next contender. It's not up to you. It's for the belt. Who's the best fighter, not who's best friends. It's still
my question is.
Yeah, go on, Greg.
Go on, Danny. Sorry.
I was gonna say all these best mates bullshit and not fighting who you want to fight. I think I should stop. You gotta fight the next best guy in the division. I hear when guys come out and say, oh, I'm not gonna fight this guy because he's my best friend. I don't care who it is, just fight the next guy in the division, man. It's kind of annoying at times because certain fighters look certain fighters. Like I would have loved to see Aljo beat Murad. I think that could have been, a really intriguing fight.
If they got the same coach and stuff like that, I understand it. But like Bilal and like Islam. Bilal doesn't train with them 90% of the time. He trains them once, I think, or twice, and he acts like he's been training with them since he was 2. It's nonsense. But anyway,
My question was, boys, how do we decide this next title challenger then at 170? Because obviously we had a massive KO with Morales, we had a KO with Prates, we've got Gary Bilal next week. What are we going to do? It's a mess.
I think me and Luke touched on that just before you came, Craig. We said that, in my opinion, if Gary wins a decision, you give it to Morales. If Gary knocks out Bilal or has a really impressive performance, you give it Gary and you do Prates with Morales.
Do you want to know something interesting, right? So Prates, after his fight, when he spoke to Dana White, because Dana White said something like, if he knocks him out in the first round, he can face off for the winner of the main event. So that tells me that he's considering Prates very strongly as the next guy, and he obviously did get knocked out in the second round.
Where did you see that, Luke?
So after he got out of the cage, he went and spoke to Dana and said, "Can he face off the winner of the main event?" And Dana says, "It's up to them." He didn't want to go and ruin the moment for Islam and.
Is that what they were? I did see him talking to Dana. Is that what they were saying? Yeah.
Yeah, he asked him if he could square off, and because apparently before the fight, he said that if he won with a knockout in the first round, he could face off. And obviously, he won in the second round, but he got a knockout. So I'm guessing that he's expecting to be the next guy, but I think he's probably said the same to Ian Gary. So who cares?
Also, I think with Michael Morales, he has a lot of potential. I think he should have one more fight before he fights Islam. Even just raise his stocks even more. I think it's perfect for him. And then, I don't know who you give him. Maybe if Bilal loses, you do that. I'm not really
sure. You do the either Gary or Prates. The one who doesn't get the title shot, the other one should be number 1 contender fight against Morales. Yeah. That's what you do.
Yeah, and I think JDM, you give him probably Shavkat. I'd watch that.
Maybe. Oh, yeah, there's Shavkat as well. I fucking forgot.
He's been injured for ages.
But he'll probably be wanting a shot as well in the next.
He's out of the picture for the time being now.
Well, Shavkat a year ago was the number 1 contender. He was basically the next guy, and then he got injured and just now what? He's 4th, 5th, maybe 6th.
I seen a screenshot of someone typed in the word congratulations on Shavkat's Twitter. And he's congratulated the last three champs, saying, "I'm next, I'm next, I'm next."
Yeah.
The problem is now, what I'll say is, you're judged on your most recent performance. So if he comes back and beats Usman or whoever in a really good fight, he could get it. But because he's not fought for so long, he's got no recent performance to back up his claim, whereas other people do. So he's just at the back of the queue as well.
Yeah, I mean, they're all exciting options, but I hate to break it to you guys. It's going to be Kamaru Usman. It's just so obvious.
I disagree. I think it's Ilya. If I had to put my money on it, it'd be Ilya.
No, I think Carpe's right. I think it's Kamaru.
Like,
I don't see it. I really don't. I get why they do it. I get why Islam wants it. I get why everyone wants it. But I think if Ilya goes out there and knocks out Paddy or knocks out Arman and really says, I want it next, and makes it clear he wants it next, not in a year's time, he wants it at the White House, I think they'll give it to him.
I think if you don't do Ilya v Islam, I think you will be Islam. We probably Kamaru Usman. But yeah, I think if Ilya does win his next fight I think it'll be against Paddy in January. You make the fight. It's the perfect time. Both guys are basically neck and neck for pound for pound number one, welterweight champion, lightweight champion, two of the best we've probably ever seen. Just make that fight, man.
I think if I'm Ilya, I'm waiting a year or two, though. I can't lie. Ilya's a lot younger. He needs to bulk up a bit. I'd wait, make him age a bit, wait till he's like 36. Because Ilya's got that knockout power. Just give it a couple of years, put on a bit more size. Islam get a bit older. Hopefully he beats Prates or whatever. If I'm him, I'm just waiting it out.
Islam's got 2 fights left. I'm telling you, he'll retire after 2 more fights, I think.
Yeah.
And this is why I think they're going to do the Usman fight, because obviously you can blame John Jones for this. He done that shit with Stipe, right? Or on a fighting.
Yeah, but John Jones didn't have any contenders at the time. Islam's got about 7.
I mean, there was he ducked Aspinall to fight because he wanted to fight.
No. But when the original Stipe fight was made, there wasn't really anyone. I think Pavlovich was probably seen as like the next guy, but he wasn't really like crying for a shout. It was only Tom beat Pavlovich because Stipe and John didn't have them. But once they already signed the fight, that was it with Stipe and John.
But yeah, I think it is a lot different because, like Luke said, there's a lot of contenders at 170. It is the most exciting division in the UFC, I think, by a mile.
Yeah.
Yeah, but because Jones did that, do you get what I mean? For other fighters,
yeah,
the same.
I get what you're saying. I don't think Usman's got the sort of star power that Stipe has anyway, but we'll see.
Yes.
What's the next topic? I've already forgot.
I've got an interesting one. It's an interesting question to you all.
Oh, I've got a good one.
Would you say Islam legacy is better than Habib's?
Yes.
Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah.
All right. End of topic then. I've got a really spicy topic, right? And we're going to get cancelled for this. But, and I don't mean this in a misogynistic way, because I don't like incels or anything like that. Would the UFC be a better product without women's MMA?
Yeah, 100%.
Yes. If we're all completely honest with ourselves, yes, it would.
None of us are going to
say here.
I was going to say, none of us are going to sit here and pretend we enjoy women's MMA.
Yeah, the only reason they keep it is so they can put like another title fight on a card and say, "Oh, we've got 2 title fights this weekend." But outside of once Harrison fights Nunes, I genuinely don't care at all about any fight. They just ruin every card. You'll see a good card, then it'll be a women's co-main, and it'll be a shit fight, and then that's it. And it doesn't matter now. Once they do Nunes Harrison, I just don't care. And I think I've heard that they've got less women's fighters than they've had in the past. I think they're sort of giving up on it a bit themselves. But the problem is, if they ever cut the women's division, they'll get so much shit.
But you know on the White House, Harrison against Nunes?
I think, well, no, I've heard they're doing it sooner. I think they might do it on the January card.
Okay.
So I've heard they're doing it really soon. That's what Harrison said. So I could see them doing like Harrison v Nunes in January, and then maybe the winner fights Shevchenko, or maybe a rematch or something like that on the White House.
Did you guys see the way they were trying to hype up Zhang and Shevchenko, like the fight to go at women, but like nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah. Also, everyone already has decided Nunes is better than both of them anyway, so who cares? It's like they're fighting for second best of their era, really.
Yeah, exactly. Like, nobody cares, Carpe. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Not even dick, but let's move on to the other. We mentioned Prates and Morales, how their stocks have gone up now since their victories. But let's talk about the losers of those fights then. Brady and Edwards, where do they go from here?
Yeah, I think Edwards retires, and I think Brady... I don't know with Brady, man.
Brady can come again, I think.
Yeah, he can, but it was a weird performance. It was a weird performance from Brady. I thought he fought that fight very weird.
You were scared because of the size. You just couldn't get close to him. That was a problem. And I've had it before. Like when you spar someone who's a lot bigger than you, it is hard to get inside without getting hit. And because of the power and because of the size, it is just difficult, and he just couldn't get the leg. And I think once you couldn't get him at the start, you realised he was fucked and just panicked, and yeah, he was done.
Would you guys be interested in Sean Brady against Usman?
Not really.
I mean, there's no one else for Sean Brady. I'm just looking at the rankings
I'm
now.
not interested in Sean Brady v anyone unless it's a prospect who just knocks him out. That's the only use he is now to the UFC.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't agree with Craig where he said that I think Leon should retire. I think give Leon someone like Buckley would be a good win.
Leon won't retire, but you'll just be like a sort of, he's a guy you put on the UK cards. He can sell tickets in the UK, and you can put him on a pay-per-view and say he's a former champion. That's what he is now.
What you want him to get nuked by Buckley as well, man? We don't need that.
Yeah, it's only a downward spiral, isn't it, from here for Leon?
Yeah, it's.
No, to be honest, I disagree. Right, I don't think he's ever going to win the title again, but I think he's still good enough to compete with like your ranked guys. I don't see him as like a gatekeeper at the moment. Maybe a gatekeeper for the top 5, but I think he's good enough that Prates just caught him with a good shot. That's all it was. Prates is a great striker. I don't think Leon. I said Prates would win. I don't think Leon's going to be back, but I think he could definitely fight a Buckley or someone like that and give a good shot.
Mate, when you get subbed like that, subbed, was it the first time in his UFC career, and then knocked Spark out the next fight for the first time in his UFC career? It's not good, mate. It's not good.
Yeah.
Who would you guys?
If you're Edwards, you'd probably look at it and say, "I'm never going to make the money I made in my title fight." So from that point of view, maybe you could retire. But he's probably still on a decent contract, so I'd probably fight, have a couple more. If you lose again, then retire.
Who would you guys back if Leon would face JDM?
JDM, probably.
JDM.
Yeah.
I think Masvidal said he wants to fight Leon. You know what? I wouldn't mind seeing that.
Come on,
I'd watch
that was
that.
going to happen in 2022, I think, in December or something. It was meant to happen, and then it just never happened. But yeah,
no, it's because he fought Till at London instead, didn't he? And then he slapped him backstage.
Yeah.
Because it was supposed to be Leon's main eventing, but they did Till v Masvidal instead. And then backstage, it was Masvidal slapped him. But yeah.
They were supposed to fight at the end of, was it 2021 or 2020?
I was saying I think it was UFC 269 they were meant to be fighting.
Were they scheduled? Were they actually booked?
Yeah, they were scheduled, and that ended up being Charles against Justin, that card.
Yeah,
right. It was meant to be Edwards v Masvidal. They announced and everything, and then I think someone got injured, and Masvidal got injured.
Theory is Masvidal. The reason he pulled out is because UFC said you can fight Colby in a few more months if you want that fight, and then
because Carpe, they said an undisclosed injury, but we all know, they had that Colby fight waiting for him.
I remember now, yeah.
So yeah,
I don't remember it, but yeah, I believe you. I think that's a fight that should have happened. If it happens, I don't really care about watching Masvidal fight anymore, though. I know I said I'd fight watching v McGregor, but that's because they're both completely washed. It'd be a fair fight. Masvidal lost a boxing match in 8 years. He's not.
He got robbed. He got robbed. Everyone
did it? I didn't watch it, so I don't know. But either way, it's like when you're doing these influencer boxing fights, then you're watched, aren't you?
Hey, keep Darren Till out your mouth, mate.
To be fair, Till's still young enough. I think he could make a comeback, but I think Masvidal, he lost his last 4 fights or whatever. Actually, Till did as well, didn't he? But
yeah, that's UFC 322. Done then. We've got another decent card as well, on the weekend, UFC Qatar. Let's give a little preview for that then. The main event, Arman versus Dan Hooker. Who you guys got and why?
I think it's more competitive than people think it is, but I think Arman will win.
I think Arman's going to win it. It could be a really boring fight, or it could be a banger. I don't know. I think Arman is too good everywhere to lose this one.
Yeah, agreed. I think he takes him down, and basically, I do think Hooker can have a few good moments in the fight. I like Hooker as a fighter, but I think, it's Arman's to lose. I think he wins.
I think what we saw with Hooker v Gamrot is he can defend the takedowns. That is the main thing. I don't think Gamrot's as good as Arman with the striking, and it is not that threat you've got to worry about. But Hooker, every time he fights, it is a banger. And I think Arman's. I don't know how to word this, but I don't think Arman's, because he's not fought for so long, I don't think he's as guaranteed to just maul him as he would have been before. I think there'll be a bit of rustiness.
Was Arman's last fight against Oliveira?
Yeah, was it Charles? I was going to say, that's a long time ago.
Hooker's fought twice since then and broke his arm and now come back.
Yeah, Arman fought on the 14th of April, 2024, so that was ages ago.
I'll tell you what I am worried about, though. I'm worried about Dan Hooker's hand, mate, because that is mangled.
Because he broke it bad against Turner, didn't he? And then he was supposed to fight Gaethje, and they
I
got
want you to see
injured.
that fight so badly. That would have been a banger.
Mate, his hand is mangled. I'm telling you, that could break with the first punch he throws. I'm telling you.
Is it the same hand he broke against Jalen Turner?
Yeah, same
Okay,
hand.
Yeah, because it's once things get broken that bad, they do become sort of irreparable, don't they?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Hooker is probably just a big payday for him. He's never going to fight for a title. We know that. And yeah.
I think if Ormond come in good fashion, it puts him right up there. Like I do think they do Ilya v Paddy next. I think that's basically a guarantee. But after that, if Islam v Ilya doesn't get made, I think Ormond v Ilya is the fight to make.
I could see them right. If Arman wins in the first round, I could see them doing Gaethje v Arman as the co-main on that card.
Yeah, I mean I wouldn't mind that. Yeah, that's good.
Because they'll need a backup, won't they? And I think having that one.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
I don't know. I don't really care about Gaethje anymore. I think Arman and Paddy are the two contenders, and I think they might have deliberately put Arman on this card so they can say he's not ready for January, but you'll get the winner in the summer or whatever. And I think they do that sometimes. They put like tactical matchmaking where it's like when they put all the UFC 300 fighters on there, so they could have given Benoit Saint-Denis the next fight against Islam because they wanted him to fight and stuff like that. They do these weird stuff. They time it, and it almost feels deliberately. But I don't know if it is or just bad. It can't be bad management. It's got to be deliberate. But anyway, I don't know. I'm waffling, but yeah.
Is the UFC Paramount called late January?
It's January 24th.
Okay, so he basically has 2 months until that. Yeah.
Yeah, 2 months isn't enough to recover from a fight and have a training camp. Like,
yeah.
Unless he wins in the first round and goes straight from one camp to the other.
If he takes no damage at all, yeah, then I can hear.
I'll tell you what though, there's some fights on this card I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah, me too.
Also, right, when we talk about time for a training camp, you got to remember, right, it's after Christmas and fighters usually like having Christmas off. So if he's fighting at the end of November, he's probably going to want a month off for Christmas and then a training camp. So I think January's too soon. But anyway, yeah, good card. Carry on.
Yeah, moving on to the co-main, Bilal Muhammad versus Ian Gary. Who you guys got?
I've got Gary.
Yeah, I got Gary. I just want Bilal gone. Him and Sean Brady, I just want them out of the top of the fight, like top 5. Just get him gone.
I know people don't like Gary as much as some people do, but I think Gary's a good fighter. He's a good personality.
Yeah,
I do enjoy watching him fight. He might not be the most interesting get these knockouts, but I think he's a good fighter, and I can see this being a close fight, maybe a 48-47, but I do give the edge to Gary. I mean, I think Gary
I think it's 3 rounds, Danny.
Yeah, I think it
is. Is it 3 rounds? Oh, I thought it's 5 rounds. I mean, I still favor Gary, to be honest, over 3 rounds. He fought really well against Prates. Some people thought Prates was going to win that, and against Shafka, I mean, he did lose that, but I think his stocks went up after the fight. So
this is the first time in my life I'm ever rooting for Bilal, mate.
Really?
Do you not like him that much?
I don't like Gary one bit. Don't like Gary one bit, mate. I can't stand the guy.
Yeah,
I don't like him, but he's entertaining, isn't he? And I think also what I will say is I rate that he's sort of down to. He fought Prates on short notice. And he fought Shavka on short notice.
Oh yeah, he's game. He's game.
I like fighters like that. And I like the fact that he has got, even though he's cringe as fuck, he is quite, it does make you more excited for a fight. Whereas Bilal, there's just nothing to like, I don't care, you know what I mean? I just don't want him there. He's just in the way of the rankings.
You know what Ian Gary is? Like, he's obviously his striking is amazing and he's actually a good fighter. He can back it up.
He is good, yeah.
But I think Ian Gary, the kind of role he's playing is similar to Colby. Like, they're both.
I knew you were going to say that. Yeah,
they're both cornballs in different ways, innit? But Gary,
and as well, it's all fake, man. It's all fake.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hilarious, but it's like something like out of Get Out or something with him and his wife and the coach. Like, it's just kind of bizarre, but you know what? It seems to be working for him. Whatever cult or whatever deal he signed, yeah, it's working for him. And I expect him to put Bilal away with ease, to be honest, and put himself right.
You think he'll finish him?
Yeah, I think he will.
I think it'll be a decision and like a fairly, like, I think he'll be like a fairly comfortable, maybe he'll be a 29-28, but I think he'll win and you'll look and you go, oh yeah, he's better than him.
If he could finish Bilal, it'd be very hard to deny him a title shot, I think.
Definitely beating Prates and Bilal this year, and yeah, I mean, he would be next in line in my opinion. Even if it's an impressive decision, if he just beats him down for 3 rounds, I think that would probably give him.
To be honest, I think the Prates fight's already been forgotten about. I think because of the way it ended, where he was like on his ass crawling around, Prates smacking him.
True.
And because Prates has been so good since, I think they've almost forgotten about that because it's so long. It wasn't that long ago, but in terms of the divisions moved quite fast. I think they like Prates so much. I think they just don't really care about it.
Yeah. Agreed.
I mean, another fight on this card, Shamrock, he's making the UFC debut.
Tough opponent, man. Tough opponent.
Shem the boy. Well, to be honest with
fan
you,
of the show, I've heard.
he is. Yeah, he's a friend of the show, Shem, and we're hoping to get him on after the card. However, I've never watched his opponent fight, so you boys will have to school me on his opponent. I'm not sure.
I've watched him and I can confirm Shem will win in the first round. I've never watched him. I have no idea.
That's a spoiler, not a prediction.
I did have a look at his Wikipedia though, and I think his Tapology, and I think he's never finished a fight.
He finished the first fight in the UFC. I mean, it wasn't really a UFC fight. It was on the Dana White Contender Series, but he's had 2 after that, and they've both been like decisions. So, I mean,
yeah, he's
he's
Apology there, Danny.
What was that?
Would you be able to pull up his Tapology there, Aliyev?
Oh yeah, I'll pull it now.
I think he's just one of these guys from that region of the world where you don't know. They could be the next Khabib, they could be the next like guy who frauded his record. But if he's won on the Contender Series, he must be all right.
Yeah.
What I say is with Shem, right? I think about 2 years ago, the first time I ever saw or heard anything about him was that Channel 4 documentary I saw, and I thought this guy.
Oh, it's class, wasn't it?
I just couldn't believe it. I was watching it thinking, how is this real? It's like some sort of.
It's the maddest story ever, innit? Maddest story ever.
But because wasn't it a crime he wasn't even guilty for, and he just went to Malaysia? And it was something crazy like that.
Joe Selecki, yeah. So there's no big names on there, is there?
I think this was his first fight on the Dana White.
No, but then when you think there's no big names, you got to remember Shem's in Octagon, so the standard's going to be a lot higher here.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
I think with Shem, because what it is he's quite old for a prospect because of like the way he started, so they're probably just going to give him a hard fight straight away.
Yeah.
And say, right, you've either got a sink or swim. We see you as a guy who's got a personality. You could be a big star, but you're going to have to beat some hard guys pretty fast. And I think they did that with...
He's 32, innit?
32,
yeah. But I said the same with Nathaniel Wood when he fought that Delgado guy. They see him as a big prospect, and they're saying, when they give you a big prospect like that, they're basically saying, right, if you don't lose, you're too old and got to go. If you win, then yeah, great, we're going to fast track you. And he's just going to have to win, isn't he?
Mate, Nathaniel's just beat name after name after name and still not giving him ranking. So
Wood's a really good fighter, man.
Pardon?
I said Wood's a really good fighter. I do enjoy watching him.
Yeah. It's just because he goes to decisions. That's why they don't like him, I think. But he sells a lot of tickets, I heard.
We've got another scouser on the card, haven't we, Luke Riley?
He's good, yeah.
I think there's a lot of hype behind Luke.
Yeah. I've seen a couple of his fights and they're really exciting. He's undefeated. He's a scouser, so he probably talks quite well and stuff like that.
He's a scrapper as well.
By the way, why is Hermanson moving to welterweight at his big age?
Mate, he's a big middleweight as well.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know why he moved to welterweight.
Maybe he's been on the Ozempic or something. I don't know.
that Ilya's brother's fighting as well on this card.
The guy he's fighting, he gave Umar a hard fight as well. That guy.
No, he didn't. He dropped him in the first round and then got dominated, didn't he? What was it, like 29-25 or something like that, the scorecard? 29-25.
I thought, remembering it, I remember thinking at the time, well, this guy's actually giving him a bit of a tough fight here. And Umar had to proper work for it.
I'm sure that was the guy that dropped Umar in like the first 10 seconds. And then the rest of the fight, Umar just dominated him.
Maybe. I think if I remember, Umar did take him down and sort of win on the floor, but I thought it was quite competitive. Either way, what I'll say about Ilya's brother, right? He's very good and he's very skilled, but he's missing the one thing which sets Ilya apart from everyone, and that's that one-punch knockout power. Yeah, he's like Ilya, who's like without the muscles, and he's very skilled, but I don't think that's enough to be a champion now. And yeah, he's quite old as well because he's his older brother, so I think he'll be a good guy to watch, and he'll be in the rankings, but I don't see him winning the title. I think he'll end up just being Ilya's coach.
Also, Paddy did travel with Shem, and we know Tapori is going to be there. I'll be surprised if something didn't kick off in that hotel.
I forgot about that, Danny.
Yeah, they might be announcing the fight though as well. That's what I was thinking, because Ilya's going to be cage side, so you have Ilya. Arman, and Paddy all there. I think that'll probably be. They might do something there. They might do a press conference before the fight actually and announce it.
That's a good shout, yeah. But overall, I think that's a very good card. What time is that starting UK?
6. I think it's 6.
6 main card.
The main card starts at 6 o'clock, so perfect, man. Perfect.
Qatar's a few hours ahead.
Shamrock will be on about what, 4 o'clock or something?
Oh, you'll be on before that, yeah, because the early prelims will start. The prelims will start at 4, or the early prelims will be like 2, so you'll probably be on at like 3.
Yeah, really early.
I mean, that's the UFC. let's step away now from the octagon and move over to the square circle. Then, big weekend of British boxing, and there's been some big news as well today that's come out. But let's start off with the rematch. Then, Conor Eubank Jr. almost put in as bad as a performance. Actually, I think it's probably worse than JDM.
It was awful.
My God.
Mate, this was the biggest waste of time ever.
I was
No
so
one
hyped.
wanted it.
I was so hyped for the fight, though, man. When they were walking out, I was so buzzing.
Were you?
What a letdown.
Bro, bought 50 Cent. You know how gas felt.
Oh,
I thought it was shit, to be honest. I thought he played many men and it was good, and then after that, it kind of like died down. I was like,
Yeah,
it's
he's
just
out
a
of
bit.
breath. Out of breath.
Yeah.
Bombs,
But I just, to be honest, after the first fight, I was like, don't make it again. It was perfect. And the second time, no one cared. Eubank clearly wasn't 100%. The crowd was flat. Turkey must be so pissed off right now. He's probably beheaded someone just because of this. It was the worst thing ever.
The first fight was an amazing fight. One of my best boxing fights I think I watched this year. And then I think it was a perfect entry, right? Just ended there. Eubank's won, but no
Everything was perfect about that. With like
money talks, and they had to make the second fight. And Eubank just, I mean, I think that first fight took a lot out of him. Like, he's considerably older than, Conor Benn. And I think that fight did take a lot out of him. And he just did not want this whole Conor Benn. I don't think it was overly impressive. He just did the basics well, and beat Eubank. The last two rounds were hilarious when Eubank was just getting knocked down to the floor.
did anybody else think that Chris looked gaunt and drained in there?
He looked fucked.
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
I thought from the first minute he looked flat-footed, gaunt, drained. He just didn't look right.
I'll tell you what I noticed, right? When they were supposed to fight in September, right? Because obviously, like, why would you have a stadium fight in November in the UK? It's freezing. But they're supposed to fight in September. When they pushed that back, as Chris didn't want it, that was the sign. I was thinking, like, oh, okay, he's not, like, he doesn't give a shit. The first fight was the one which mattered. And then this fight's just another payday, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, the fight was pointless, but I get why they made it, because
Well, it's because they can sell out a stadium. How many fights can sell out a stadium?
Exactly. But I think the most annoying thing for me about this fight, is the whole narrative going into this fight behind Conor Benn. It was unfair. The coverage, I thought the commentary was horrific as well.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Hey, they're acting like he's the second coming of fucking Manny Pacquiao now.
Dave Allen absolutely cooked their broadcast.
Oh, mate, it was brilliant, wasn't it? What Dave was saying.
He was spot on, but you can't talk after his last fight where he told everyone he's like fitter than he's ever been and walked out for a punch. But he was right.
Eddie Hearn comes out in the post-fight press conference and says, "Look, this is the guy at 147. This is the guy.
You know what he also said? He said he was.
This is the money fight at 147. Conor Benn has never won any title at 147. Not one title, not a world title, not an area title, not a British title, nothing. So how are they saying that?
He
I don't
can't
get
even
it.
make 147 anymore either. He's fighting at 160. He's not going to be able to make 147. I don't think.
He's not better than Barrios. He's not better than Romero. He's not better than Crocker, in my opinion. So...
Well, mate, after that Pacquiao fight, I think Ben could beat Barrios.
Yeah, Barrios is fucking awful.
Yeah.
But I think Ben, they just see him as a big ticket seller now after that, and they'll give him a title fight. He'll probably beat Barrios, get a world title, maybe fight a Ryan Garcia or someone like that. They'll just milk him for money because they've got no one else, and that's what it is. And I don't think he's good.
Young, isn't it? Like 28 or something.
Yeah, he's like 29.
Yeah, so
with Junior, you're kind of frustrated. I get why he took it. He probably made a lot of bank from this fight, but it was kind of a brain dead decision when you think in terms of his legacy now. Does he really want to end it on that note? But
he's not retiring. Let's be real. He's just sold out Spurs.
You know what he should do, Carpe? You know what he should do? Hear me out. He should go back up to You should go up to 168 and do a Billy Joe Saunders fight. Yeah.
I'm just fed up with this boxing. Every fight's like this, and that's what the UFC will turn into if you do Islam Makhachev. It's just every fight's like a going out a sale shop. It's just they just milk everything and do these stupid fights, and they don't build any prospects. It should be Eubank should be fighting someone like Shiraz, build him up, and then we've got.
No, but I suppose what do you do with a name like Chris Eubank Jr. Because he's a big name.
Give him Aaron McKenna or someone like that. You build.
Well, why would you want to put your legend like that into a fight where he's just?
The problem is people don't, but that's why we've got no stars. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that Chris. If I was Chris, I'd do the same thing. But from a boxing fan's point of view, all we're getting is just washed guys fighting other washed guys. We've got is it Lee Woods fighting what's his name again?
Warrington.
Yeah. It's like every fight is just milking every last penny out of these big names instead of making new names for the future. And it's just at the point now where we've got AJ v Jake Paul. That's what you end up with.
I think Luke just touched on it now, saying that the UFC just want to make basically the big fights, which, whereas I say in like the last 4 or 5 years before this, the UFC always made the number one contender against the champion, which was what I loved about the UFC.
Even when the UFC do it, at least like Stipe was still like at the time, like you could make the argument for him. Usman, you could still say, well, yeah, he won a fight, and he's like not that washed. With some of these fights, we're talking about guys who haven't won world titles in years and years and years, fighting other people who've never won a world title. It's just a complete waste of time. They just mug off the fans, and I'm just sick of it.
I'm most pissed off because Eddie Hearn basically got what he wanted.
Yeah,
he's basically the way they portrayed Conor Benn as this like saying,
inspiration.
He was broke for months. He was depressed. Blah blah
mate,
blah.
he was a drug cheat.
The guy's a drug cheat. The guy's a drug cheat, and
they're acting like they're saying all this. Or he's come back from the dirt. Yeah, he put himself in the dirt by injecting steroids up his ass. That's why he was in the dirt. He's not unlucky. He's had the most privileged upbringing you could possibly have.
Do you know what I found bizarre though? The crowd was cheering Conor Benn and booing.
Mate, that had me rattled. When they were booing Chris.
It's just like a London crowd, innit? And because they'll just be your football fans who don't know anything about boxing. They're from London, so you see a guy from London who Eddie Hearn's told them on TalkSport.
Half of the crowd probably didn't even know Conor Benn failed a drug test.
Half of them probably didn't even pay for a ticket. Turkey was giving them out on the street. I was walking past Wembley Stadium or Spurs Stadium. Turkey was standing there giving them out. He's just saying, right, anyone want a ticket?
Listen, though, being in that crowd for a big boxing fight is unbelievable. I'm gonna.
They've got what they wanted in it. They've kind of made Benn into a star, really, for the UK, like the face of. Yeah,
I think, to be honest, I think that fight was so bad though. It's not really done too much for him. It will have helped him, and the whole drugs thing's made him a bigger name. But I don't think anyone's really like clinging onto their like TV remote waiting for a Conor Benn fight.
And I think with Junior, funnily enough, the reason why he won the first fight is probably because of all the drama surrounding his dad, so he had a lot more to prove. And this fight
he won because he's 2 weight classes bigger than him, and then the second fight he just didn't turn up.
He just didn't care. He didn't really have reason to.
He was probably in the casino the whole time with Neymar again.
Did you guys see Eddie Hearn milking that story about Chris Eubank?
Oh,
bro, all you went on about it.
What, the one about the birthday party?
Yeah. Asking for the fee, it killed me, bro.
And he kept saying, I don't want to tell this story. But he was telling it to every fucking reporter.
You know what with Eddie, right? He's a good salesman, but he's just a bit.
He's full of shit, man. He's full of shit.
And his stable's absolute dog shit, right? Queensbury have the entire light heavyweight and heavyweight division. They got so many fighters they can't even get them fights because they've just got an entire monopoly. Whereas Matchroom, all their stars, you got AJ's fighting Jake Paul, Conor Benn's fighting in gimmick fights. You got Johnny Fisher, who's just again he's a gimmick. Ben Whittaker, again he's another one. They're all fighters who've got no belts. Nothing. None of them are going to be fighting for world titles. They're just guys who can sell tickets and like.
He's got Bivol, and he's got Bivol, but.
Oh, I'm on about domestic. Yeah, he has got Bivol. He didn't even want Bivol. He put in, wasn't it Craig Richards with Bivol was on like right the way down a card or something, and he wanted Craig Richards to win back in the day anyway.
But just going back as well, I think Team Benn, Eddie Hearn, Conor Benn, Nigel Benn, they're so shameless as well. The way they were celebrating afterwards, and the way they were like dismissing they're saying, "Oh, now we don't want to do a trilogy." Like, huh? Listen,
the way they actually won the rivalry, we're like, "Oh yeah, we settled it now. Yeah, you're 2-1 down, lads."
Yeah, isn't he 2? Yeah, exactly. They're still 2-1 down, but I don't want to see the trilogy at all.
I still think Chris. I honestly think Junior won the rivalry out of the two of them. The way I see it,
definitely,
I agree with you there, Carpe. I think
the fight which mattered, Eubank won. No one cares about the second fight. No one wanted it. Eubank didn't turn up. Who cares? Right. On to the next topic because I'm fed up.
I don't want I agree with you there, Carpe. I don't want a trilogy, but how can they be so dismissive of one?
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Because I know why they're dismissive of it, because Turkey, they already signed for a rematch. They got it, whereas they know no one is paying for the third fight. They know Turkey's not putting up the money. So they can say it doesn't matter what they want. It matters what Turkey wants, and he doesn't want it. So they can sit there and be all smug and be like, "Oh no, we've won. We won't give them the third fight." You don't give them one because you're not getting it.
Junior, even though he won the first fight, he still took the rematch on their terms as well, which says a lot about him.
Yeah.
Because he wanted 8 million or 10 million, whatever it is.
Also, one of the funniest part was in the post presser where they were saying Conor Benn is this inspiration. I mean, wasn't it? I was like, "Whoa, why are you talking about inspiration for?" I mean, it's stupid.
Eddie Hearn's hilarious.
Conor Benn, his whole name is his dad's famous and he's a drug cheat. That's all he's like. That's what he's famous for. But yeah, anyway, right. I'm just Yard Benavidez. That's a proper fight, you know. Benavidez, one of the best fighters in the world. Yard, I don't really care that much about, but he's a nice guy. But yeah, that's this weekend. So if you want proper boxing, Benavidez is fighting.
That's Saturday night, I think. So it'll be straight after the UFC. So perfect.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Touching on some news today, obviously Luke mentioned it. AJ versus Jake Paul. What do you guys make of this fiasco?
Listen, I'm gonna say straight up, I don't mind it. I think AJ is gonna get his massive payday. He's gonna. I mean, it's good for both sides. Like Jake Paul's gonna make a ton of money. It's probably the biggest payday of AJ's career. Let's be honest, massive payday. Eddie Hearn was not gonna turn that down. Joshua was not going to turn that down, and of course Jake wanted that fight, and I think Joshua puts him to sleep quite early, to be honest. Like, it will be shameful if it goes past 2-3 rounds. In my opinion, I think Joshua is just miles better. I mean, when that fight is open on December 19th, we'll quite clearly see who is the boxer who, I mean, so that and we see who's been boxing for the last few years. So I do expect AJ to beat him quite convincingly, and again, it's a nice tune for AJ before he fights someone like Tyson Fury. So I don't mind it. I think it'll be a good spectacle. I'll be watching it on Netflix.
I think it's just a waste of time, to be honest. I'll watch it, but I just don't really care. We know who's going to win. It's just a payday for everyone. It'd be a bit of a laugh, bit of a fun event, but it's not really.
I'll be watching it to see Jake Paul get beat the shit out of, mate.
Yeah, either he loses or it's rigged. Or it's they'll put some stupid clause in when they got to wear head guards and AJ's only allowed one hand and he's got.
What did you say, Danny?
I think I was gonna say, would you have preferred if Joshua fought someone on the undercard who no one ever heard of, or would you prefer this?
I'd rather him fight a top contender.
He's not ready. He's not ready for that, mate.
He's not ready.
Yeah, exactly. You can't fight anyone inside the top 10, 20, realistically. They're just going to give him the plan is for him is they want him to fight in April, and that'll be some nobody again, and then he'll fight.
Well, I hope they just do this fucking Jake Paul gimmick, get him gone out the fucking sport, and then do Fury AJ.
That's not. They're going to do a fight before it though, in Saudi. Anthony Joshua's got a fight. I think it's either February or whatever. Turkey said he's fighting in Saudi. So I don't know who that'll be against, but yeah.
Yeah, apparently Eddie Hearn said it as well. He's signed a 2-fight deal next year with Turkey. But I think this is going to be a glorified sparring session, to be honest. There's definitely going to be a clause in it, no knockouts, you know what I mean?
I don't think it will be. I think AJ, because with Mike Tyson and stuff like that, they haven't got, for them, because they're old, they haven't really got a reputation. With AJ, he knows that if he doesn't win very quick and very bad, that's embarrassing for him.
He's look, it's as simple as this. If AJ does not knock him out, his whole reputation and legacy, everything he's done is ruined. Who cares?
This will be worse than when Ngannou knocked down Fury. Fury was embarrassed badly there, and he won the fight. If AJ, if that happens with AJ, that's just it. No one will take him seriously again, and that'll be how he's remembered. Yeah. But anyway, I'm just fed up with all these fights, to be honest. But
you know what? Fair play to Jake Paul. He's got balls to get in the ring.
This is why he's doing it. Though, watch him. There'll be some stupid reason to call off the fight or something. Now, I just know the whole time I thought he's lying just so he can say, "Oh yeah, I'm willing to fight anyone." But I don't know.
Fair play to them. They're both gonna make bank. But
would you take 100 mil for AJ to knock you out?
Mate, I'd do it for I'd do it 50 grand.
I mean,
exactly. So why are we saying fair play to him? We'd all do it if we were offered 100 mil.
He's saying fair play to Jake. I get
for making the fight. I think for actually, making the fight, because let's be honest, a few years ago, who would have thought? I mean, I think I seen a picture of 7 years ago when AJ won his first title, and Jake Paul was doing some stuff in TikTok or whatever it was, and just to see how far he's come and actually got the bag. Is fair play to him, innit?
Yeah, I think
the tank influence a lot. Yeah, I have just a little bit of respect for Jake Paul. He actually fights.
No, I've got respect for him, but he's not he's getting paid 50 million. He's not doing it the hard way. He's not come through the amateurs risking his health and taking dangerous fights, is he? I respect him for dedicating his life to boxing and doing serious stuff instead of being a clown. But he's not had the same struggle any other fighter. They have to go, and there's a 10% chance of them making it. They go through far worse injuries. They haven't got any sort of money to back them up, and they know that's all they've got in life. And if they fail, they're fucked. With Jake, he's had it all on a plate for him. But yeah, respect to him, because it's better than him doing his vlogs, because that used to piss me off.
I don't know if you guys have noticed as well. A lot of pro boxers are they're bigging Jake Paul up. I saw Hamza Shiraz, even a tournament.
They want a payday.
Yeah, exactly. It's just hilarious to see, innit? They're like, oh yeah, Jake Paul's good for boxing, blah blah. But
that's what's happening with the Conor Benn stuff. All it is just everyone just wants a payday, and it's all back scratching. Everyone's like, you got to hype up all the Matchroom and Queensbury guys so you get on good terms with DAZN, and it's just all boxing is just one big like circle jerk now, and it's just become unbearable.
yeah,
I've heard a lot of discourse today regarding this topic, but do you guys think this could ruin AJ's legacy? I don't think it could.
You'll win it easy, and everyone will forget. They'll just be like, "Oh, I remember when AJ kept Jake Paul." That's what happened.
No, if he doesn't knock him out, it's really, really bad.
Yeah, but he will knock him out with like 90%. You'll beat him, and everyone will just pretend. It's like the Tommy Fury fight, where it's like for Jake, everyone just kind of forgets it happens. You know, it's one of them.
Like when AJ fought Ngannou, for example. Like
they just brush over it. They go, "All right, non-boxer, waste of time, get on with it."
Yeah.
But you know what's funny? That Tommy Fury, even though he beat both KSI and Jake Paul, somehow he's come out the worst out of all of them.
He's still irrelevant.
But he was never really a big name, was he? He was just
because he fucking. If he didn't bottle fighting Darren Till, then he could have done something. But
that was so pathetic.
Yeah, but Darren Till was the one who carried that promotion, and people were watching that because it's like you needed the two of them. Tommy's not big enough to sell on his own.
Did you see the excuse he gave for pulling out though?
Yeah, there's bullshit. He didn't want to fight him.
He said he said he was going to kick me in the head. I'm not fighting him.
Yeah, it's just stupid.
That was embarrassing. You just embarrassed the Fury name, you know.
He wasn't ready for the fight. That's what it was.
Fury's just a dickhead, mate. He's just a fucking idiot.
Yeah, but before we wrap up, then quickly, big news has come out. Usyk has relinquished the WBO title, and our new champion is Fabio Wardley.
Big up.
Mental.
I'll tell you what, this is a horrible week for Joseph Parker, innit?
Oh my days. Did you guys see that video?
I think they knew going into that fight that that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, but mate, right? He goes and puts on that horrible performance, like one of the worst I've seen from him in his career, and then he goes and tests positive for cocaine, and then he fucking realizes he could have been the champ.
Yeah, it's a stinker. I think what it is though, that fight going into it, it's like when Dubois fought, was it Hrgovic for the interim belt, and everyone knew that Usyk was going to vacate, and that was basically for the title. That's how I felt about that one. But what it means Turkey has zero interest in Wardley v Usyk, and that's not going to happen. That's what it means.
I don't have any interest in that personally.
It's a blessing. I
wanted to see it. I like Wardley, and I think it'd been realistically, Usyk beats anyone, so you might as well give him someone who's a bit more. There's a bit of a story there, but
Wardley's like
a fight I want through.
Wardley's just like a less skilled version of Dubois.
Also, the stoppage was so bad.
You know what I'll say though about Joseph Parker? Now that I know he was on cocaine, it makes his performance a little bit more impressive.
Well, put it this way, he was never going to sleep, so maybe the stoppage was a good stoppage.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's not a performance enhancer, I'll tell you that firsthand. It's not.
The videos are killing me.
But yeah, I think it's funny because you've seen a lot of reaction online. People saying, "Oh, he's ducking Wardley." Come on, man!
I don't think anyone thinks he's scared.
So, who do you think Wardley defends his title against?
It'll either be
Caballero. I think they could do that.
Is it Caballero?
He's fighting in January, I think.
No, the two options are either you build Wardley up as a star and give him winnable wins, or you give the belt to Atoma. You do Atoma v Wardley, Atoma wins, and then Atoma becomes a long reigning champ. That's like the two options Frank's got.
I think Atoma is probably the one.
Yeah,
I think Atoma's fighting Franklin soon, isn't he?
Yeah, but he'll fold him like a deck chair.
Yeah, they can do Wardley v Atoma in like April, May time or whatever.
Yeah, that makes sense on paper. Unless they actually know Wardley, AJ. I think AJ's better, but it's still a risk that fight.
I could see them. I could maybe see him doing because they're talking about AJ and Fury both wanting tune-up fights. I mean, tune-ups when they've been waiting 15 years to do this fight. They still want tune-ups, but anyway, yeah. I could see one of them fighting Wardley, maybe Fury, because he's got more chance of winning, getting the belt. Yeah. So then when they fight, it's for the title. I could see
that makes sense. Yeah.
But I don't know if Frank would risk putting Fury. Because if Fury loses to Wardley, which I don't think he would, but if he did, after AJ's fighting Jake Paul and lost to Dubois, that fight would just look so bad on paper. But it's already like completely ruined itself, that fight. So
what do you guys think is next for Usyk?
Good question. I'm not sure.
I think he's just waiting until there's like a big payday, and which could be Fury, could be
Fury AJ.
Yeah, he could fight the winner of Fury AJ. Yeah.
But that's not till September next year.
I think Usyk just wants more time to think about what he wants, and he can't be like bothered dealing with all these sanctioning bodies, basically harassing him. And
also, when he
just
comes
wants
back,
time.
it means he'll be three time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he's got
Mate, he might have to give up another bout for that. Honestly, I think he's at the stage now where he's fought Dubois, AJ, all these guys. He's getting paid tens and tens of millions. He's not going to go and fight like Parker for 8 mil in like an arena somewhere. He's only going to fight big stadium fights now. I could maybe see him doing Caballel in the stadium if someone pays for that, because Caballel's just sold out a big arena in Germany. So if there's a crowd for that, I could maybe see him doing that. But he's only fighting big fights now.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, Usyk was to call it a day. He's got the resume, do you know what I mean? Right now, picking his fights now, which he's earned the right to do so. And
yeah, he's cleaned out the division. He can just take whichever fight gives him the most money when he wants. He's earned the right to do that. And unless someone beats him, they're not the heavyweight champion as far as
I want to see. I want to see Moses Itauma fighting before he retires.
Same. I think Caballel should be next, and then Moses, Wardley, Fury, someone else. Wait for someone else. I think Caballel's the only one right now who's really you could make the case to.
I think he'll do 2 more fights, maybe the winner of Fury AJ and then maybe an Itauma.
I think he'll keep going as long as he can until I think if he feels like in his body he can keep winning fights and keep making 30, 40 million, I don't see why he'd stop.
Yeah, I can see that as well. But yeah, man, it's been a long one. It's been a good episode.
Before we go, do we want to talk about Paramount cards?
We'll save that now.
We'll save that. Yeah, we'll save that.
I mean, we pretty much all said we think it'll be Ilya v Paddy anyway. So
yeah. We'll save
not to spoil the episode.
Yeah, I didn't expect the episode to go over an hour, so yeah, we'll save it for the next one.
There was a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
I did say it'd go a very long time, but
See,
I'm always right, mate.
Thank you guys for coming, and yeah, that's been Mission Podcast, the Combat Council. See you guys for the next one.